After one of the most chaotic weekends for any company in history that saw the entire top of the pay-per-view card being forced to change with the world and US title holders taken off the show with injuries, the head creative writer being demoted and quitting, leading to almost half the roster asking for their release from the company, and the new world champion vacating the belt hours later and is about to sign with the WWF. WCW opened Nitro on January 17, trying to explain the situation to the wide audience who was not following the inside news of the last 48 hours, with Arn Anderson cutting a promo to explain Benoit being stripped of the belt with Seed's leg being under the ropes, while hyping new Commissioner Nash's State of the Company address for the top of the hour. After backstage political maneuvering between three different groups behind the scenes since pretty much signing with the company, Vince Russo, 3 months into a 2-year contract, was asked to join a committee by Turner WCW supervisor Bill Busch, a demotion from his original role as the head creative director, which led to Russo quitting the company due to him not wanting to work in a group with no leverage alongside people who he felt undermined him behind his back for months, ending his regime, which started on October 18, 1999 and saw TV ratings and pay-per-view buys increase despite facing stronger sports competition on television throughout, with the sold-out pay-per-view card falling apart 3 different times on the way to the event, first with the Goldberg injury and then Bret Hart and Jeff Jarrett being taken out with head injuries, which WCW openly acknowledged on the company website since Friday. Russo's last suggestion in charge was putting the title on Tank Abbott in a battle royal on the show, before the word got out of Sullivan replacing Russo, which led to the Revolution and Filthy Animals groups headed by Chris Benoit to ask for their release, with WCW trying to soften the blow, looking to bring back the major star power on the sidelines since October, with Hogan, Savage and Flair all asked to return in different scenarios. With the entire roster out in the ring, Nash came out for his State of WCW address in his first promo as the new commissioner, as with the entire direction of the company legitimately changing in every department. Nash's promo addressed mainly the on-screen angle without going into the legit chaos behind the scenes, first giving the US title back to Jeff Jarrett after Funk took it off him, with Jarrett off the pay-per-view due to a legit concussion suffered from the Jimmy Snuka top of the cage jump last Monday, before going over the new rules with him in charge, saying that all talent despite their position on the card will be in the same locker room with all illegal substances banned, booking his first main event with Page vs. Bagwell with Kimberly as special referee, opening the first opposed quarter with a 3 rating. After the strong hint last Monday with a bleeding Foley closing Raw with a different expression, 4 days ago on SmackDown the turn was official, with Foley bringing back Cactus Jack for the street fight against Triple H at the Rumble pay-per-view, opening Raw for his first promo saying that Hunter has woken him up, bringing up the last time he faced Triple H as Cactus Jack in the Garden on Raw in September '97, telling him that '97 was nothing compared to what's gonna happen on Sunday, with Foley, if everything went according to his original plan, would have most likely been retired by now, acknowledged that he's not the man he used to be and relied on the comedic Mankind character in the last few months, but he has one more run in him to go all out on Hunter on Sunday, calling him out to start it now, with Triple H responding by hyping a violent match on both sides to open Raw with a 5.7 rating. The first major sign of Nitro's changing creative regime could be seen between 9:15 to 9:30, having a segment that would rarely pass the former Russo-Ferrara scripts, with a cold tag match between the Varsity Club Tucano and the former NWO Sting Jeff Farmer going 9 minutes, leading to Nitro dropping to a show low 2.4 rating, while at the same time Raw with the continuation of the opening segment with Foley calling out Hunter and DX to bring out Rock, followed by Big Show for the save, jumping over 500,000 viewers into the 6 rating range, setting up the top 2 matches of the night with Triple H and X-Pac against the Acolytes and the main event of Rock and Show teaming against the Outlaws 6 days from the Rumble match, along with Bossman vs. Test going 4 minutes in the same quarter in a hardcore match with Test winning the title. With WCW getting the word from Bret Hart on him being out for the foreseeable future with major concussion issues after a meeting with a doctor on Wednesday in Calgary, Randy Savage on the last day of his WCW contract on Friday was called to replace Bret in a house show main event against Seed. As with Goldberg and Bret now on the sidelines, Flair turning down the commissioner role for his return and Savage in a contract dispute with the company over a new deal. The other major name off television in Hulk Hogan met with the WCW office on Thursday regarding his return and possible contract extension, with Hogan reportedly leaving the meeting on bad terms with him still set to return during the unopposed Nitro on February 14th, on a night that the entire direction of TV is billed towards as an opportunity to regain lost viewers with possible returns of Goldberg, Hogan, Flair, Sting, Hall and Bret all targeted for the show. Both shows stayed in the same rating range with a slight turnover of viewers for Nitro in a quarter featuring Seed vs. Wall and a Scott Steiner heel promo on the crowd, with Raw against it having Edge and Christian against D'Lo and Godfather going 4 minutes for a 2.5 to 5.8 rating margin. With the Russo to Sullivan move causing major backlash in the locker room towards the office as pro-Russo anti-Sullivan or both, other names outside Benoit the Revolution and Filthy Animals groups to support Russo to management included Scott Steiner, Seed and Jeff Jarrett, along with reportedly Bill Goldberg telling Bill Busch that Russo deserved more time to establish his vision with no interruption, with other top names such as Nash and Hogan standing in the middle for the best political option on the day. Nitro's final quarter picked up over 400,000 viewers to a 2.7 rating with a Luger vs. Bigelow match followed by the entrances and start of the Page vs. Bagwell main event, with Raw against it closing out the first hour with a 5.9 rating with a Kurt Angle vs. Steve Blackman match and Jerry Lawler hyping the Miss Royal Rumble competition for Sunday. The Page vs. Bagwell main event in the blow-off match of their program, which has been doing strong numbers in the past month, jumping big in the 6-minute overrun with over 1.4 million viewers to a peak 3.9 rating, by far the highest rated segment of the night, including outdrawing every quarter in the unopposed hour by over a half rating point, ending up with Bagwell having the match won until bumping into Kimberly for the distraction to set up Page going over, with Raw head-to-head with the Bagwell-Page match having Triple H and X-Pac against the Acolytes tag match going 4 minutes, with the Raw formatting after hyping it in the last hour, positioning the surgery update of Steve Austin in a press conference from his doctor for the second half of the quarter immediately when Nitro went off the air, saying that the surgery was successful while taking 4 hours, which was longer than usual due to Austin having more muscle tissue in his neck, predicting 6 to 12 months of recovery before he could return to the ring, with Austin already walking on his own in the afternoon after the surgery in the morning, as with Nitro going off the air at 10:06 p.m. to leave Raw with 9 minutes unopposed in the quarter. Raw not only didn't pick up any viewers from the around 5 million viewers watching Nitro's finish, but actually dropped to a 5.8 rating at the top of the hour. After an unexpected viewing pattern in the last 15 minutes, Rock opened Raw's first unopposed quarter to bump the show over 400,000 viewers back into the 6 rating range, starting by congratulating Austin on the successful surgery before going over to hype the tag match with Big Show in the Rumble match, saying that this Sunday is Rock's Rumble while guaranteeing victory in the Garden, with Rock after the massive opening of his new book continuing the media tour with the company booming across the board. As with Thunder moving nights to Wednesday, the first unopposed SmackDown last Thursday headlined by a Rock and Big Show vs Triple H and X-Pac tag match drew the show's most watched episode in history with a 5 rating and over 7.9 million viewers. Raw remained steady throughout the second hour with no major bumps or drops on the way to the Rock and Big Show vs Outlaws main event, staying in the 5.7 to 6 rating range with the highest quarter coming in 10:30 to 45 with Rikishi, who after doing strong numbers in main event spots over the past few weeks on both Raw and SmackDown, was now positioned as one of the top performers on the roster against Chris Jericho for the IC title in a match going 3 minutes to end with him taking out Jericho, Chyna and the Hollies in the build to their IC title 3-way match in the pay-per-view, with the rest of the second hour seeing a Kane vs Albert match and Foley talking to both Show and Rock on them needing to team up against DX later tonight. Raw's main event of Rock and Show against the Outlaws started a few minutes from the top of the hour with Rock getting Show for the opening segment, attacking him from the start, setting up Rock against the Outlaws with Show watching for the majority of the match going 6 minutes, ending up with Show eventually tagging in and Rock laying him out for DX to go over in the build-up to the Rumble match Sunday with Rock and Show as the heavy favorites, with the tag match gaining over 1 million viewers to peak the night with a 6.5 rating.